And to Rwanda now, where the capital Kigali has been playing host to the annual meetings of the African Development Bank. The bank has also released a report which is an economic outlook for the continent, as more Jullien reports.
Kigali has been hosting the African Development Bank's annual meetings. The institution is marking its 50th year of existence, and it's also looking towards the future. The theme of this year's event is the next 50 years, the Africa we want. And to just talk about this year's prospects, where things are looking rather good, the bank has just published its annual economic outlook, and the continent is set to grow about 2 points higher than it did last year, and to reach about 6%, which would be about twice as much as the global growth. East and West Africa are expected to provide much of that push. And here in Rwanda, the economy is expected to grow about 7.5%, which is quite a jump from last year's figures. I asked the Rwandan Finance Minister, Claver Gatete, what has been driving the growth here in Rwanda.
We are investing heavily in the agricultural productivity. We are investing heavily in irrigation because of the weather effect. We are also investing heavily in the link between the primary production to the industry. But also, besides the agriculture, where we are saying that we need more productivity by really paying more attention in the access to fertilizers, access to high-quality seeds. So we are seeing that the service sector and agriculture are going to be the key drivers of the economy come this end of this year.
So good figures, but at the same time, the people here in Kigali have been telling me that the price of living has gone up. They've been complaining that there's no minimum wage. So what exactly is the Rwandan government doing to make sure that this growth rate translates into better living standards?
Benefiting the people, it has been ever since, including our leadership, has always taken it to itself, saying that it's not just economic growth. It has to be reflected in really affecting the social sectors like education, like health, creating jobs, and also reducing the poverty. You know that in the last household survey that Rwanda lifted within 5 years over 1 million Rwandans out of poverty. So we monitor those numbers very, very closely, but also we look at how it contributes to the income inequality.
Rwanda has had some trouble with international donors last year. Aid was suspended following allegations that the Rwandan government was supporting rebels in the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. So how are Rwanda's relations with international donors today?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Because of the suspicion of Rwanda's involvement in the Congo's affairs, which was later proved not correct, all the donors have come back. They are coming back because they are believing exactly what you are saying. Initially, they suspended and had an impact on our economy. But then when it came back, then now we are in good terms, with no exception. Everybody has come back. But at the same time, we went to the market last year when they stopped the aid. And you saw our bond, where we were looking for 400, and the subscription was up to 3.5 billion, 8.5 times.
So you just gave the Rwandan government's position on alleged support to the M23. But the UN says that actually Rwandan support to the rebel group continued until the end of 2013 when that rebel group ended. Now, not only has Rwanda been accused of supporting rebels in eastern Congo, it's also been accused of smuggling minerals from that area. There have been accusations that Rwanda's growth is actually attributable to this. What is your response to that?
Have you ever seen one evidence to that? The UN team was here for nothing. The way we do in terms of where we get the sources of the minerals, we are the only country that has tagged and that has fulfilled all the requirements in the whole of the Great Lakes region. We are the only country that has done that. After even doing that, that is clear to everyone with no ambiguity. I would be surprised that we are still claiming that, because the sources of where we are getting our minerals and how we export and how we are being monitored by everybody in a transparent manner, we are the only country that has fulfilled all the requirements.
Economic progress in East Africa is also the result of regional integration through the East African community. Yet Rwanda is sometimes seen as undermining efforts for regional cooperations, particularly by allegedly perpetrating violence in Eastern Congo, also because it has complicated relations with Tanzania. Is Rwanda a good neighbor?
Rwanda is the best neighbor that promotes regional integration. That's why if you see how within the East African community, where we now have a common market, we have a single customs market, this one, Rwanda is a member. And now it has also signed the monetary union. So for that, I don't know where you would start by saying that Rwanda is not really for integration. Our president has been highlighting globally, or even on the African continent, that we can't really move forward without integration. And this is also the belief of the African Union. That's why Rwanda has signed off in terms of the cooperation to make sure that we can bring peace within the Great Lakes region. We're among the first countries to sign for that. So Rwanda is looking for peace, is looking for good neighbors, is looking for economic opportunities so that we can all work together.